experiment. The purpose of their test is to see whether I can defeat something that the brothers themselves cannot. They probably see the destruction of the giant predator as a side effect. After I complete this task, whether or not I stay alive depends on whether they think I'm useful enough to keep around in case more predators or some other dangers appear, regardless of the fact that I am a threat to them. I didn't get the tree on that ledge, so I can drop straight down to it now. There isn't any way down to it from here, so I'll have to wander around a bit. The brothers' knowledge of the Devastators also suggests that something like this happened in the past. Either another soul like myself got trapped here, or maybe we were here in much larger presence. There could have been a whole history behind this, the brothers waging a holy war against the blasphemous pests, such as myself. I questioned before whether the brothers really appreciate colour as much as we do, and while it isn't entirely clear... Oh, that's all dried up. While it isn't entirely clear that they subsist on it anywhere near to the extent that we do, they didn't have anything like it before they ended up in the state that they're in. At one point there wasn't any colour, and it seems that they were mesmerised and enlightened by the fact of its very existence. Whether they collect it out of religious fervour, basically idolising it because it's very shiny, or whether they feed upon it as if they've just found some godly food that tastes 1,000 times better than anything they were previously used to, remains to be seen. They might have known that colour could talk out of their own experience, or maybe they found someone who told them this information. A prophet for colour, perhaps a devastator blessed with the power of speech, or extremely convincing interpretive dance. They could have listened to him, said, "How dare you tell us what colour can and cannot do?" and then killed him off and written it into their lore anyway. Of course colour can speak! How preposterous it is to think otherwise. It's happened before. Can you think of any famous prophets who have been killed by oppressive zealots? Then everyone has doubled back and claimed to have heeded their words all along.
You're wasting from your hearts.
Amber and emerald, is it? It looks good now, but I'll probably need every single drop of that emerald. Not sure when that happened. I gained a surplus of gold sometime in the last few minutes, so I'm going to pass some of that through me, but keep hold of 100 droplets so that I can have maximum trust whenever I feel the need. I'll convert all the silver I can, just in case, because that's what I'm into right now, but hopefully I'll have some spare at the end so I can plant some, because it's fairly hard to come by.
So that's what he's like. Agreed, quite extraordinary. But I believe him, brothers. He's just like us. Greetings, young one. Welcome to Heaven. You'll soon stand side by side with us as an equal, so don't feel too offended. I know that you, like us, ascended here from the abyss of the nightmare. As our apprentice, I now ask you to prove your righteousness with actions. Act with dignity and honesty, so that none of your detractors can blame you. They'll fall silent, I give you my word. Then there will be a feast, and you will be told our revelations. For now, obey your mentors and learn. Your only task is to finish your apprenticeship. So let us say goodbye for now.
Well, on the off chance that the brothers respect, and more importantly listen to their elders, I should be okay. Although he said it with such certainty that I couldn't see, when others have sensed me being able to. It could be him just being a bit senile. Maybe he's mistaken us for his grandson. Well, there's that, and also, he's the only brother without a face. So he probably doesn't have much idea of how it works. It's like not having any legs, and then informing your fully functional friend that you know someone who can use their legs to jump over skyscrapers. Actually, that sounds quite reasonable. You know, something like that, I don't know where I'm going with this. The brothers feel pity for him? Maybe having sight was just not done back in his day. And everyone puts up with Grandma's racism because it's from a bygone era, she's set in her ways. Not to mention it's really funny watching her dig herself into a hole occasionally. Oops, I didn't notice I still had some gold on my knees. You know, the way the trust mechanic works, it implies that the sisters have a choice in how much to take from you in order to let you through. The only way I can see that making sense is if it was extremely strenuous or painful to let me pass, and the more trust I have, the more willing they are to do that. This isn't going to be enough. Well, at least my predictions are pretty good, as pessimistic as they are. I'm just gonna sod it and use all this silver. I'll pick some up eventually. That tiny bit was hardly worth my while keeping. There's something I only just noticed. The streams of colour wafting around behind her form the shape of some sort of bench with a headrest. Take this gold out before it complicates matters. This music is starting to sound really daunting. There's hardly anything I can pass through me without wasting it now. I'm going to survive entirely on 48 silver.
I'm scared. Why aren't you coming?
That was Ole. I need to get back to the garden before the cycle is up. However, I think I'll go to the Heathen reservation next. It's not much out of the way, and all of the brothers are crowded around this side, away from the garden, and all I need to do is beat them to it. I'm not sure what dictates which chambers they seek out, and when. But while it doesn't have any colour in it, it shouldn't even attract them for now. One might head there anyway and arrive just as the cycle turns, so probability can always screw you over.
Stupid sisters. Rejoice, they say. Colour's coming back. But what of it? Even if there is a wave of colour before the end, it will change nothing. The void isn't alive anymore, it just exists. What will we use colour for? To paint the dead and dying? No sisters are born anymore, which means there's no use for colour. Nobody to ascend. All this inane joy, it only comes from the horrors of our long famine. When someone loses their soul and falls into slumber, they have no future.
Won't stop staring. So, this reservation doesn't have any sprigs in it, or fireflies for that matter, but it has some trees, so I can use the crimson I have at the moment to plant as much as I can, and get a little bit of return. It might be just enough to see me through, so I should do whatever I can. They're here for a reason after all.
Drop by drop. That's how life slips away.
Unfortunately, they don't take very much. At least I had some violet, which is completely coincidental. I just happened to fill up my Nerva and find some extra along the way. There are pyres of some sort at the top of these mounds, apparently very fertile, maybe with the minerals from charred flesh. Bones scattered around, propped up like decorations. Perhaps the name of the chamber actually means something in this case. Maybe this is the fate that awaits the heathen. There are more down here, overlooking the edge, so the dead can watch over the abyss that they descended into. The music has these little blips, these high-pitched noises that hint at the mischievous dead, taunting the traveller that passes in their wake. Some azure just to mix things up, and you can do it from quite a distance in case stealth is required. Colour comes into the void randomly, but it seems to prefer this chamber, so every time I've been here in the past, I haven't spent that much